A very good morning to you all. I would like to thank the organizers and the chair for this opportunity to speak at this wonderful meeting. These are patients that we routinely see in our glaucoma practice. This is a 32-year-old male with a family history of glaucoma with open angles and a pressure of 22 to 26 in the right eye and 24 to 28 in the left eye, with early disc changes on the right eye and clear-cut glaucomatous changes on the left eye, with near normal fields on the right and definite early glaucoma on the left. This is another patient who is also a 45-year-old male whose sister has glaucoma and has lost vision in one eye, has a best corrected visual acuity of 6 and 6/9, pressures of 26 and 32, open angles, and moderately advanced glaucoma on the right and a very advanced disc damage on the left, which is also reflected in the fields with moderate glaucoma on the right eye and very severe glaucoma on the left eye with just a central island of fields. So whenever we see each time a newly diagnosed patient with primary open angle glaucoma, we're faced with this question: what do we do? Do we start the patient on medical management, that is instilled drops, or do we put the patient on surgical management, or we incise or do trabeculectomy, or do we consider a third modality, which is laser? So there is no ideal treatment. None of these treatment modalities are what we would call ideal. Each modality has its advantages and disadvantages. And that being the case, we have to take recourse to an evidence-based decision and have an individualized treatment plan. So let us look at evidence that we have today about initial management of newly diagnosed primary open angle glaucoma patients. SIGITS is a very well conducted, large randomized control studies. There are other studies which are well summarized in a Cochrane review, which I will refer to. And we have our very own INGOT study by the Arvind group, which is the most recent study which looks at initial management of primary open angle glaucoma. The ideal outcome measures for any study which would look at initial management would be IOP maintenance and in turn visual field non-progression, because that is what we want for our patients. But we should not forget patient-reported outcomes, because a treatment which controls pressure and preserves visual field but makes the patient unhappy is not an ideal one. One has also got to take into consideration cost analysis, because whatever we choose should be eventually cost-effective. Let's look at SIGITS. The Collaborative Initial Glaucoma Treatment Study is a randomized multi-center clinical trial which involved 607 patients with newly diagnosed open angle glaucoma. They were randomized to initial medication treatment where they were started on topical treatment with one drug with additional medications, and if this was ineffective, they underwent ALT prior to trabeculectomy. Or they were randomized to the immediate surgery group where they initially underwent trabeculectomy followed by ALT and medications if surgery failed. The target IOP was customized for each patient. The primary endpoint was progression of visual field loss, and the secondary outcomes were intraocular pressure and health-related quality of life. The SIGITS results at 5 years show that on an average, the patients in the surgical group had 1 to 2 millimeters lower pressure, that is their intraocular pressure was more well maintained at lower levels compared to the medical treatment group. But if you look at the primary endpoint, which is visual field progression, both the groups were very similar. That is, the progression rates in the medical and surgical treatment were very similar. However, the surgical group is at increased risk of visual loss initially, but by 4 years both groups become comparable. The surgery in the SIGITS trial resulted in lower intraocular pressures, more cataract, more ocular side effects, initial decreased vision and initial decreased visual field, but the difference disappeared after 4 to 5 years. Both groups were satisfied with the quality of life associated with their treatment. So the conclusions of the SIGITS trial at the 5-year endpoint is that the results do not support altering current practice of medical treatment first. The follow-up to the SIGITS trial later published also showed that certain groups did better with medication first. That is, patients with diabetes mellitus exhibited greater field progression if they initially underwent surgery. And also African American subjects behaved in the same way. One specific group, that is patients with advanced visual field loss upon initial presentation, benefited the most from initial surgical intervention. The Cochrane collaboration lists these points as the limitations of the CIGIT study. The timing of the primary endpoint, that is visual field progression, was not stated. The interim outcomes are based on the CIGIT score of the visual fields, and these are deemed at low risk of reporting bias. But in the longer term outcomes, which are 5 years or longer, these scores are not used, and an index of visual field loss derived from mean deviation is used, and therefore this outcome after 5 years was judged to be at high risk of selective reporting bias. Let's look at other randomized studies which have been done. There are 3 trials from UK, one in 1968 which was for the CEASE procedure, which is not relevant today, and the Glasgow trial and the Moorfields trial. The findings are very similar. They also show that trabeculectomy on an average produces low pressures compared to the medical management. It is important that in the Glasgow trial, this was the only trial which looked at cost analysis. Here they found that trabeculectomy found more costly than Medicare period, but one should remember that this was a pre-prostaglandin era, and also trabeculectomy was accounted for with 8 days of hospitalization, which is no longer true today, so this may not hold good in today's context. The INGOT study, or the initial therapy for glaucoma in southern India study, has been done by the Arvind Group in collaboration with Johns Hopkins. This is an open label trial of anti-metabolite trabeculectomy versus protocol-driven topical medical therapy in the initial treatment of glaucoma. The INGOT study also found that the IOP was lower in the trabeculectomy group, and phaco-trab was associated with higher IOP, and final visual acuity was slightly worse in those receiving trabeculectomy in addition to cataract surgery. There are no randomized studies which support the use of implants as primary surgical management. Coming to laser, ALT or SLT, the glaucoma laser trial and the follow-up study have very adequately summarized that the ALT group has lower IOP, better visual field and better optic disc status compared to the medical group, and has similar outcomes in the SLT med study. So ALT or SLT could be considered as primary management. Effective healthcare program summarizing the treatment for glaucoma and its comparative effectiveness from the Hopkins group summarize that trabeculectomy is the most likely treatment modality to lower IOP, but is also the one with the most significant side effects. Therefore, initial management is a challenge to clinical decision making, and patient-specific risk-benefit analysis is most appropriate. So coming back to our initial patient, which is a 32-year-old male with early or moderate glaucoma on the left eye, here medical management with a target of 40% reduction would be appropriate. One would follow up very closely for changes, monitor for compliance, and then go on to surgery. The second patient with very advanced glaucoma, one would probably start off with surgical management in the left eye and then follow up. So individualize, stage the glaucoma in the context of life expectancy, and have the patient as an informed decision maker. And whatever we choose, we should monitor for progression and change course if what is chosen is not working. Thank you.